This episode of Rockin' H Woodshop is sponsored by Rockler Woodworking and Hardware. Create with confidence.
First thing you have to consider is the wood that you get from big box stores or even from your local mill aren't going to be square on the end, so you need to make it a rough distance first, or a rough cut, which is what we're going to do now. Just adjust your fence. Now these pieces are going to be for the top raised panel and the bottom. Now these pieces that we just cut off, we're going to save these because we're going to need them later. Now, here's the beauty of using a plan. Because we had measurements on our plan and we knew exactly what we needed to cut, all we have to do now is change out the blade for the dado stack to take care of everything else, and we won't have to go back to this unless we absolutely have to. But first, it's on to the dovetail jig. Okay, now that we got the dovetail jig set up, we're just going to take our time and make some half-blind dovetails with the router, making sure as we go across the jig that we don't miss anything, because if we do, we're going to screw it up whenever we go to take it out of the jig. So just take your time as you go across. One thing you want to be really particular about is setting up your saw blade to where it will run through the pinhole right here so the tail will actually cover it up. Otherwise, you're going to have to do stop dados or stop grooves on your router table. Okay, now that we've got the sides done, we need to make the small offset tenon that's going to be accepted in that groove we just cut in all four pieces. But now what we need to do is, using the dado stack with the same setup, two outer blades together, we're going to make a groove on all four pieces. Again, that's going to accept the raised panel top. Now I want that to sit proud of the surface because it's going to be one of the features of this box, not to mention the dovetails we just made. So after that, I'm going to make a raised panel with this piece right here using the router table and my raised panel bit. Now, one of the main things that you have to concern yourself when using a raised panel bit is to turn the speed of your router down. This is a big bit with a lot of mass. The moment it hits that board, if it's turned up really high, it'll sling that board right out of your hand. So be sure and use a miter gauge on all end grain. Raise the bit up little by little until you have the desired depth that you want. Okay, now with all the pieces marked correctly and dry fitted together earlier, let's go ahead and assemble it. All right, now that I've got it assembled, as you can see, it's just a box. Can't get to the inside yet. So we actually have to run this box through the saw blade about 1 7/8 inches, which is what I have my fence set at. That'll give me a little area just below the latch that I plan on using on both ends to keep this thing locked, along with hinges on the back, of course. So these spacers that I had you save, off of the cutoffs. These are 1/8 inch thick, the way I planned it. So that is the exact width of the blade. So we're gonna use these as we go through the process of this, and we'll put the spacers in place of the cutout that we made on the piece prior. Well, after just a few coats of lacquer, this box has turned out to be a rare beauty with the raised paneling, the branding on the back, and the name insignia burned into the side. I think this thing will be a rare and valuable keepsake to him. And who might this be? As you can tell by the name, it is somebody that is related to me. My nephew is actually getting this for a 20 gauge shotgun that he'll be receiving from his father, my brother. So I hope that he will enjoy this box, because I certainly have enjoyed making it. I hope he can treasure it just as much as I treasured making it. He'll also have this video to remember it by. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember, I have new woodworking videos just about every week, and I also have a rockin' recommendations just about every week. And here lately we have started the Ask RH section of the broadcast as well, where you, the viewer, can actually ask me questions that you have. And you can do it on an interactive scale with Google Hangout. So be sure and go to my Facebook page. Be sure and like that page. You can also add me to your circles on Google+. Also check out my website at rhwoodshop.com, where you can find anything and everything that is Rockin' H. Now that website is going under a major overhaul here pretty quick, so bear with me as that occurs. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, I recommend that you do. So hit that subscribe button. Be sure and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And I will see you guys next time.